With this view of Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, how would I approach a significantly more difficult subject? Well, really exactly the same way. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, where's the safest shape to start? And I reckon it's going to be this shape here, this rectangle here, because this, I mean, the figures complicate things at street level, but this figure really doesn't interfere there. So I start with this shape, and then I'm going to progress down and really just get this section done, and then I'm going to come up with this side and then keep moving up the facade, always checking proportions, because this is tricky. So I don't know how this is going to go in a diagrammatic sense, but let's have a look. I start with drawing this. Look, I'm already wanting to do too much detail, aren't I? Just find it very difficult to. Okay, that yeah, that's proportionately better. So I have that in. And these perspective angles, of course, they get steeper as they move higher away from eye level down here. They get steeper, steeper, steeper. It's important that we get the first one right, and then we get the last one right, and then we'll make all the ones in between fit. Now here, the foreshortening is really quite severe, and because we know what Notre Dame looks like from the front, it's very tempting for us to try and draw the detail as if and this front portal comes out a bit more. Okay, so we work that out, and then we come up. Okay, and there's a nice straight line. So let's just get our bearings on. So now we come up here, and really, as I'm drawing, I'm just mapping out the perspective lines so that I can then add the detail comfortably and get my foreshortening correct. So I'm up to here at this point. So from there, then it comes up, steps back a bit and comes to here. And then we have a perspective line like that. And the facade does step back a little bit there and there. And then we have another two which come out further without wanting to get too bogged down. And on this side now we've got more to worry about here, but I'll just pop that in just so it helps us know where we're at as we go up here. So I've done that. I'm getting lost already. Look, how's that? And now we have this level. And again, I'm seeing this is about the same size as that. So whatever I've drawn for that is going to work well here. And now again, I've got these perspective lines. So I need to just keep the perspective happening in the right way, which is fine there. And so forth, and I keep going up and pushing across at the same time. Now it's important, I need to get a sense of the perspective lines on this side of the cathedral, and we have this wonderful but tricky shape to draw here. And then we keep going with it because we need this when we get further up. I don't want to get too bogged down with this, but you know, we're roughly looking at something like that. And again, the perspective lines need to get steeper as they move up, but these ones don't get as steep as quickly, so that's great. And now we have more, you know, this is where we have all of that fancy work there. And now there's a bit of additional kind of fancy work here, which, you know, we need to allow for just in this schematic drawing. And now we come to the top part, and again we want to get this right. We don't want to make these too tall or it'll throw our sense of proportion out. So we're kind of looking at here, and this center line is about there. Yep. And so the question is exactly where do we put this line? Yeah, I'm going to put it there. And then we want to get this line correct. And we have this detail here. And then this really gives us our last perspective line. And it's going to be one just again to take a little bit more care with, because it's going to be an easy one to get wrong. And yeah, there we have it, pushing the tower up. So this is how I'd be progressing the drawing of the tower. And of course at this point then I can read off these marks from here. Now there is also something I should have paid a bit more attention to down here, and that's the tree and the lamp. So I always include the lamps. The lamps of Paris are amazing, and for anyone who's ever been, so I'm just making this one a bit large, so I'm just going to correct it. And we have trees here to worry about. Now, so I'm going to just put this figure in here. I'm not a great figure drawer. But it just gives us a sense of what scale we're working at. And then we have this figure here who's pretty much on the same plane, just slightly higher. Give him a dark shirt just to disguise the mess up there. And then up here there's a crowd of people as well, and we've got this tree here. And then on this side we have this tree that again we just need to work out a sense of how close we're going to bring it to the cathedral, and again how it aligns with. Yeah, and so that's the direction I would take this. It shows my thinking and how I progress and plan it as I go. So a lot of fun, this sort of scene to draw, but a bit of a challenge as well. Hi, I'm Stephen Travers. Look, I hope that demonstration of how I would draw Notre Dame from a photo was helpful. It shows where I would start and why and how I'm thinking and the things that I keep in my head as being important as I progress the drawing, in that case in an outline sense. But if I were doing a proper drawing and taking 5, 6, 7, 8 times as long, I would still be following those principles. I'd just be doing the detail more carefully and bringing out a whole drawing in the end in all directions. But it shows you how I'm thinking. And sometimes, particularly with a complex subject such as Notre Dame Cathedral with a fairly steep perspective angle, it can look a bit confusing and overwhelming. So I hope that's helped to break it down into stages that perhaps you feel that you could have confidence to do. But in the end, whatever way works for you is a good way for you. So go for it. Practice, draw. You've got nothing to lose. Have fun. I'll see you next time. Bye.